Welcome to episode 8 of the Thought Grenade podcast. My name is Colin,
And my name is Tyler.
and today's a surprise episode for me.
Surprise for Colin. I have a general idea as to what we'll be talking about. I've been researching or looking into it for the past 4 hours probably.
4 hours, dude?
Yeah.
That's
Not
as long as scientists need to research anything.
Well, see, they
4
do it so
hours?
then I can take 4 hours. They do it for longer so I can take 4 hours and look at it.
4 hours. If it takes longer than 4 hours, it's not worth it.
No.
I just whacked my steering wheel, sorry. You guys probably heard that.
Also, we don't have videos, so he's not recording in his car though when he says steering wheel. Just to make that clear.
I'm a gamer. I'm a fucking loser gamer, and I have a steering wheel because racing games are the best games.
I don't have much experience with racing games, but when Dirt 2 comes to PlayStation for free?
Just came this Tuesday. You can play it. I will.
Oh, I'm downloading that.
Smolder your cheeks.
Probably.
My friend from work downloaded it, and I was just like, yeah, we'll hop in a lobby. We'll do. There's rally racing, and then which is traditional, and then there's rallycross, which I prefer rallycross because it's on a circuit. But I was like, whatever you want to do. And he's like, what are you best at? And I'm like, oh, I'm pretty fucking good at rallycross racing. And he's like, okay, we'll do that. And we hopped on. And I was like, okay, you can just drive ahead of me. I'll follow behind you. And I would give him like pointers. Like some of the tracks I kind of know pretty well. And there's one track where it's a wicked long straight. And the way a rallycross car is set up is it's like all acceleration, not really top end speed. And you get to the end of this really long straightaway, and you're just pinging it off 6th gear, beep, 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 off your rev limiter. And I'm like, Ed, you might want to slow down. Mans didn't slow down. But it's fun. It's a good time. It's really hard.
Is that the one that Matt and I played on your computer that one time, or is that a different one? That's a different one.
You guys did rallycross, but that was on iRacing.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty hard as well.
Yeah.
But I'm down. Downloaded it.
I will. I'll download it tonight. Maybe we can play tomorrow then.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's how we're introing this. So, anyway,
yeah,
so I mean, before we get into the meat of the episode, let's how's your week been? What's been going on in your life?
I went to work every single day. Not every day. I actually had an extra day off this week. That was kind of cool. Not much. That always happens every once in a while. You just get there like, man, you get 3 days off. Have fun. It's like, well,
cool.
Okay, I'll do it. But sorry. We implemented the limitations in the store this week. So we have a queue line, but the limitation is so large it really doesn't matter. They lowered it, and we finally almost hit it today. But they had me out there a couple days this week. So as you can see, they can't. I'm dad hat Colin because I got a sunburn. Because I was like, the first day I was out there, I was like, can I have a hat? And I had my winter hat, but it got really warm, and I just couldn't wear my winter hat anymore. I was like, can I have a hat? I'm gonna get a sunburn. And lo and behold, Colin got a sunburn. But other than that, I've just been going to work, coming home, not playing many video games with my friends because my friends don't want to play video games. That's what I've learned.
I actually worked. I worked quite a bit, so I just came home, and I was actually a couple days out of this week. I was watching The Tiger King. I don't know if you guys have watched that yet. Okay, I think you should. We watched it. It's 7 episodes. We watched 5 in one night. So, yeah.
My other friend at work is like, he loves it. Like everything.
Most people do. Everyone's been loving it.
Alyssa tried to watch it. She said she couldn't get into it. Maybe if we watched it together. But I was like, yeah, I see all the memes. You know, I'm aware of it, but I've never watched it. And he's like, oh, and he kind of like broke it down for me. So I understand like all the memes that I see, I understand all the memes even without watching it. But I don't know if I will.
I think you should. It's more interesting than I thought it would be. Even I'm not on like all that hyped up stuff.
Mm.
but I think it was worth the watch.
Mm.
It's pretty funny, honestly. More than anything, it's pretty funny.
That bitch Carol Baskins.
She definitely
Did
killed
she
her
kill?
husband.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Did
Absolutely.
she kill her
That's
husband?
always the question. I very much think so. Anyway, so yeah, I've been doing that. I was training someone this week at our job, so teaching him how to do the job and whatnot.
How to spray stuff.
Yeah,
Psst, psst, psst,
pretty much. That's all it is.
Mhm.
But other than that, I mean, yeah, I haven't been doing much playing Animal Crossing and whatnot.
Oh, the turnip lady comes tomorrow. I'm gonna make sure to find her. I couldn't find her last Sunday.
I realized that's how I judge my weeks today. I'm like, oh, the turnip lady in Animal Crossing comes tomorrow. Also,
Mhm.
I made a big profit, stonks, because I sold.
Stonks.
I
Big
bought
stonks.
for. I'm pretty sure I bought for 97 bells, and I sold for 468 or something like that. So
Yeah.
made that bell money.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to get there.
pretty stoked on that. And yeah, and then when we do that, we obviously have your game, my game, Brittany's game.
Mm.
Oh, I have a question. What you mentioned that you said Brendan, right? Plays your friend Brendan plays Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Which Brendan is this?
Ruji, the
Okay,
one that was in my wedding.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I just didn't like pin him as a gamer. I guess.
He is more of a gamer than we are.
Is he?
So you know how at the end of every year, I apologize if you listen to this, Brandon. I'm gonna out some of your deepest, darkest gaming secrets. At the end of the year, you know how PlayStation you can look up your playtime.
Yeah.
They'll tell you your overall playtime, and then they'll break it down by your top 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
This man's had over 500 hours played in 2 separate games.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't remember what his third highest was, but like his whole top 5 was way up there. He played I played like I don't remember how many hours I played exactly, but my most played game was 2K19, and it was only like just barely over 100 hours played.
Mm-hmm.
And my next closest one was maybe like 30 hours. I barely I might have overall played like as much as one of his games was Battlefront 2 was
Mm-hmm.
over 500 hours. I
Wow.
might have played in a year alone 500 hours. I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember what the number was, but yeah, he goes hard.
I didn't. I see. I always heard you like talk about him, but or like say the name Brendan, but I didn't know which Brendan. But now that I've actually met him, again, I didn't really just pin him as a gamer, but that's dope. Brendan,
He's gonna put like
come on the
500
show.
hours in Animal Crossing, and just have
I think I already have like over 100 hours in that game.
he's gonna have the nicest island
I'm
of all
sure.
time.
I'm sure. I don't know if he listens to this, but come on the show.
Mm.
We can probably try and get him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah,
Any other topics there? Anything that's been going on?
Because you guys have abandoned me, I've been playing mobile games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't fucking do that anyway. No, I've Vanguard is dope.
Okay.
You should play Vanguard.
I downloaded it. I haven't started playing because I wanted to watch the Shady Penguin video.
Ooh, he's got 2.
I know.
There's 2
But
videos.
the first episode is like on re-rolling and stuff, so
Yeah, you should reroll.
yeah.
Um,
What should I re-roll for? Is there like certain cards you're looking for?
I didn't go for cards there. There's one card. I think it's Silent Tom. He's like the best card in the game. There's a couple other cards that are really good. The video and Shady will reference it in his because he watched 1 2,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically sorry, re-roll for the guy says 4 to 6. Shady just says re-roll for 6 because it's possible. So do it.
What is
So
6? What do you mean?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Reroll for 6 triple rares. That's the highest rarity.
Mm-hmm.
So when you log in and finish your tutorial, you'll get 2 packs for the tutorial, and then because of how many people pre-registered, you'll get 20 packs. And then you'll get 500 gems. So you'll get 22, 27 summons packs. And there's, I think, 6 cards in a pack. Gosh, I can't stop burping. So when you reroll all that, you'll want to shoot for 6 triple rares. I got 6. And then I just called it quits. I got 6
on your first try, or
no. I was re-rolling all day. I didn't even get the cards that I wanted, really.
But you got 6, so you were good with that.
I got 6, and 3 of them, there's the way it's broken down is clans. So like in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's archetypes. In this, they're called clans.
Yep.
It's played a little differently, but it's the same concept.
It looked very similar from what I saw. It's like 3 and 3. Like the battlefield looked very similar.
Yeah, the battlefield's set the same, but it acts not even close.
I'm sure.
But in the 4 clans, there's one of them's called Kagero, and it's like dragons and fire monsters and stuff.
So you wanted that one?
Run. Yeah, I want that one. And of the 6 I got 3 Kagero clan creatures. Vanguards, maybe is what they're called.
I think they're called vanguards.
But they were all the same card.
Yep.
And it's not a bad card. It's actually pretty good. It gets rid of what's called interceptors, and on the field, the way it's set up, you can see me. So there's 1, 2, 3, and the middle one is your main vanguard, and then the other 5, so the 3 behind and the 2 next to it are called your rear guards. And there's an ability, or I guess it'd be a class of the other cards that you can get, and it'll say interceptor, boost, and there's another one. But if it's an interceptor, you have to attack the interceptor before you can attack the main vanguard. But with this card that I have, once I plop it on the field, all cards lose their interceptor tag. So I can just go
right for the vanguard.
I can pop off on your main vanguard. So it's not a bad card, but I didn't get like the main card, which isn't a big deal because you can craft in this game. You can craft cards after grinding, but it's really cool. I'm interested in it. I'm excited that Shady's playing it. And then TFT, I haven't started playing it yet, but I've been watching. Shouts out again, Mr. Shady Penguin. It's like really cool.
Also, shout out to Shady Penguin because I mean, you've mentioned before that you like to watch like update videos on YouTube. Not usually for update videos. He might have the best. Like just it's still just so interesting. Like I just like listening to him talk. Great voice and everything.
Great voice.
And wish him the best and everything. Face. I mean, I just listened to it and I was a happy boy.
It's great. Give me a weekly update from Shady Penguin.
Yeah, right. No, he said he's done with them for this year at least. So, all right. So, I definitely have to give that a try. Probably after this, I'm gonna boot that up and see what I get.
Rocket League. I want to play Rocket League.
Yeah, we'll play games tonight too. But I want to load that up even while we play.
Okay.
All right.
Rerolling so easy. We'll get to that after.
Don't you just undownload it? Or you have to.
It's even easier. In this game, you go to the title screen, and then so there's a
clear data
button.
Or something.
Yeah, there's a menu button, and then on the title screen there's another menu button, and it's delete user. It deletes your data, nothing else. So when you go back in, you don't even have to re-download anything. You just go in, run through the tutorial. You're done. Re-roll. Do it again if you need to. Super quick.
Cool.
I just whacked my steering wheel again. I'm sorry.
All right. We're gonna get into the media stuff here.
For real.
All right. You like sciencey things, right?
I do enjoy the science. Yes.
All right. Do you like space?
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Yeah. This is a different aspect. More space stuff.
So it's not a space penis?
No space penis. Space balls, actually.
I'm not interested unless it's phallic.
Well, we have balls, but no. We already did the shaft. We're just covering the rest of it. All right. So I was listening to a podcast. No, not a serious podcast by any means. What was that?
A moo was balls.
Yeah, something like that. No. So I was listening to a podcast that's not like a science podcast or a serious podcast by any means. The PKA podcast. I brought it up before. and they mentioned this along with a theory, and then I looked into this because I thought it was interesting.
So you weren't listening to Bill Nye's podcast?
I was not, but we didn't mention him last
Okay,
time, so we should
well,
probably mention him this time. Shout out Bill Nye.
cancel. This topic doesn't matter.
All right, I don't know. He might have a podcast, so if you after this, here I can actually look it up now. I'll do some clickety clacky. He might have something on this topic, and if so, you can not click away from this. You have to listen to this one, and then you can go and watch or listen to his podcast.
Science. I haven't listened to Bill Nye's podcast in a minute. They've all been short.
I don't see anything about it, or I see like I don't know, but I found this Bill Nye How to Talk to an Alien thing, so maybe watch that. All right, so what they mentioned is something called a Dyson sphere.
I've heard of this.
Okay, so are you familiar with what it is?
Refresh mine and the listeners.
All right.
Noodles.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard of this, it is so the Dyson sphere is a theoretical mega engineering project that encircles a star with platforms orbiting it in tight formation.
So this my words. There's a podcast which I have referenced, the Brothers to the End podcast with Gold Glove and Vern. They talked about this. I don't remember what the episode was about, but they were talking about is life a simulation, and kind of the technology it would take for a completely entire world that's set into a simulation, and how much power and energy it would take, and what kind of computing system, and that computing system would need a power. And this is where it came into play. So I heard it from a not serious science podcast as well.
Okay. So, I mean, there we go. So that's our basis. But I looked into it a little bit, and you guys can't see, but Colin can see. I got some notes. I took down some notes just so I can know what I'm going to be covering here. So that led me down a little rabbit hole, actually, into other things. And then where I had stopped, kind of shortage of time, but also I know seems pretty complex, is where I ended up ending was string theory.
Oh, we're going all the way to string theory?
So, no, probably not, because that's where I ended.
I was going to say, that'll get up there.
So, again, those not familiar, the Dyson sphere is basically, at least in my understanding, is taking a star, be it the sun or any other star, and almost, like, pretty much... Okay, so there's two different ones. There's one that closes it in, and then we live on the shell of that, and then we draw power from the inside. Or the other version is to take basically mirrors and have the mirrors orbit around it, and that be collecting energy and sending it to Earth, or if it's like an alien life form, to their planet.
Either way, it's just we're harnessing the power of a star.
Correct.
As our energy source, instead of wind, water, nuclear, or just electrical like we are now.
Correct. Fossil fuels, things like that.
Yeah.
So, again, there's two. There's the shell around with civilization on it, absorbing from the inside, and the other one is reflectors around, transferring light to civilization, Earth, or another planet, if there was an alien life form out there doing it. So, people have speculated that, or scientists, not just people. I'm sure a lot of people speculate a lot of things, but scientists have speculated that if there is like other life out there, then it's very possible that they've created some form of Dyson sphere that is allowing them to power their Earth or their planet. So in 2015, astronomer Tabitha, I don't know this is last name, Boyajian, Boyajian.
I was listening, so we'll just call him Tabby.
Reported on the mysterious dimming of light from a star whose irregular flickering looked like nothing researchers had seen. Other scholars suggested the weird light dips could result from a partially built Dyson sphere. More research was done and no evidence of alien activity has been found. But aliens. If there is aliens, then there would be a strong possibility, especially if they're a higher life form than we are, that they are harnessing stars' light and using it to power their civilization.
Sure.
So, I mean, what are you thinking so far?
Do
you, at least from the simple explanation we have, what do you think?
What are you wearing? Sorry,
a
what is on
onesie.
your sleeves?
Oh, look. It's actually a Snorlax.
Okay, I look at you had wings. I couldn't tell.
Oh no, it's supposed to be like the paws or whatever.
Yeah, I got it, dude. If this fucking origin thing doesn't go away, ugh. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, I do believe life exists,
Mm-hmm.
but if they could harness a star's energy and use it for whatever purposes they desire, if they're that advanced, that's the point where I'm like, why haven't you either came regularly, or maybe they don't want to, maybe they already came, right? If
Mm-hmm.
they're this already came, if they're this intelligent, who knows how long they've been at this kind of higher plane of existence than we are.
Mm-hmm.
But why isn't there more concrete evidence? I think there is evidence of other life visiting Earth. But it's kind of not the most solid evidence that you could ever find.
Mm-hmm.
So if they could do this, why aren't we either A, regularly seeing them, regularly interacting with them, some form of something?
Mm-hmm.
Because you get that advanced, you're either gonna be like, it's gonna be like some Star Wars shit. You're gonna be doing crazy stuff with that kind of power.
Yeah. So maybe, I mean, if there is life out there, which most likely is, I would say, why not? It's like maybe they don't feel the need to interact with us. What do you think
Can't
about
they
that?
just come kill us all?
They probably could, but maybe they want to see what happens.
Why don't they just come do it?
Have you heard the theory where it's like
Come
we're like a zoo for them? Like they have all these different planets, and then like we're like an amalgamation of all of the planets put together.
Yeah, they should put us down.
All right. So again, this got me looking into other things, and so looking further. So what do you think about the whole Dyson sphere thing? Do you think it's possible for us to be able to harness the sun's light like that, or any star?
Um, I guess I'd have to do more research into it. I
Mm-hmm.
think I don't, it's weird. Like it's totally false that we've plateaued technologically. It just feels like we have.
Well, certain areas we have, right?
Yeah, well, like in the case of what we're talking about, like space, aeronautical engineering, and stuff like that, like we kind of have.
We've slowed.
We
I
have
think we've slowed
plans.
down, but I think we're still going at a decent rate. We're just not going
Yeah,
exponentially like we were.
yeah, because like
Like
we
if you
have
look over the
plans.
last 100 years.
I'm talking. We have plans to visit other moons and planets soon, like Mars and the moons of Saturn. There we go. You can talk now. Europa. The moon's called Europa.
I'm saying like over the last 100 years, if you look at how we've advanced in technology, it's pretty crazy.
No, yeah.
I mean, if you look at computer processors as an example, like you notice how some of them are 5 gigahertz and we haven't really gone past 5 gigahertz.
Mhm.
I think the reason behind that is we can't get like basically the electrical circuits in it or whatever to move any faster than what that has them moving at.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe we are. I mean, I think we're slowing down. I don't think we've actually reached a plateau yet, but we'll see. I guess. I mean, we probably won't see because
We won't see.
no, we definitely won't see the full advancements of something like
No, I mean, that wouldn't happen for like
Dyson
100.
sphere.
Yeah, there'd be maybe thousands, and
Yeah.
hopefully we don't exist by then. I'm a huge advocate that I hope humanity gets wiped from the face of the planet.
I can
It's
tell.
kind of dark because it won't happen to me, and it's kind of. I'm trying not to swear. I swore a lot in our last episode.
Well, you
I
were
was
angry.
really heated. I was really heated, so I apologize. But it's kind of messed up because it's not gonna happen to me. I'm not gonna die. It's gonna be like my grandchildren or their grandchildren.
Hmm.
I hope we just get obliterated.
Yeah.
Just just demolished. I don't know what it is, but just
Yeah, just our ancestors beyond anything. Like,
dead.
yeah, whatever we know, like and unfathomable about, but definitely later on down the road.
Uninstall. Like alt. What is it? Alt F4. Is that what it does?
I don't know.
Whichever one you can do. You put in like there's compilations that people type that in like League chat.
Oh yeah,
League of Legends,
and just
and they'll
boot you
do
out.
it, and yeah, they'll because their computer just fucking yoinked itself.
So looking into this Dyson sphere led me down this road, which is the Kardashev scale, named after Nikolai Kardashev. So this is a method of measuring a civilization's level of technological advancement based on the amount of energy they are able to use.
Are we a 4? How high does the scale go?
It's 0 to 6.
So are we a 4?
We are. I don't know. I'll read the descriptions and I'll let you try and guess what we are after that, or you can just stick with your 4.
4.
Okay, you can stick with 4. So type 1, or type 0. So it's 0 to 6 actually. Type 0 is a civilization that harnesses the energy of its home planet, but not its full potential. Type 1 is a civilization that is capable of harnessing total energy of its home planet. Type 2 is an interstellar civilization capable of harnessing the total energy output of a star, similar to how a Dyson sphere would.
Okay. We're not a 4.
So yeah, at type 2, you would most likely have some sort of Dyson sphere to power through a star. Type 3 is a galactic civilization capable of inhabiting and harnessing the energy of an entire galaxy.
Yes.
Type 4, which Colin's initial guess, a universal civilization capable of harnessing the energy of the whole universe.
All right.
Type 5 is a multiverse capable of harnessing the energy of multiple universes.
What's the point of this scale?
This is where string theory comes in too.
Okay, I was gonna say it seems a little.
There's just a lot. Yeah, it scales way above. So, type 6 exists outside of time and space and is capable of creating and destroying universes and multiverses, similar in concept to a deity. So, at type 6, you just become God.
Yeah, but you become Zeno from Dragon Ball.
Yeah, pretty much. So they're type 6.
He likes games.
Yeah. Is there 1 or 2 of Zeno?
There's 1, but there's 2 because 1 came from another timeline.
I'm not caught up on that, but okay.
Dragon Ball. Do.
So okay, I'll let you reassess after you've heard the descriptions, and now I'll let you guess where humanity is. Like, we are.
We're a 1. No, what was 1? Can you read them to me again?
1. I'll just stick to the first 2. 0, 1, and 2, because we're in that range.
2.
Yeah, that's true. 0 is a civilization that harnesses the energy of its home planet, but not its full potential. And type 1 is a civilization that's capable of harnessing total energy of its home planet.
We're a 0.
We are a type 0. We are. Our actual rating, our estimated rating, is 0.7. 0.7.
Talent. That's what we are.
It's actually been estimated that we'll be at type 1 in about 100 years.
We're going to be dead.
However, this is both a good and a bad thing, as that means we've pretty much used up all of our resources.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, because it says capable of harnessing total energy of its home planet. So that
does total include renewable?
Well, just being able to access and have that use. So renewable, like if we can harness it, then yes, that would count.
Well, we can harness it. We do.
We would just have to have enough to be sure to power everything.
Yeah, we can. Oh, I don't want to talk about this. There's like an estimation, and they show this little. Well, it's a map, so everything looks little. But they show this little spot. I think it was in Texas, and they're like, if we put a not very big solar farm right here in Texas, and it obviously to scale, it's fucking massive.
Hmm.
But on the map, it's pretty small. It's just a super small area. We could power the entire country. And we don't do that because fossil fuel companies make a lot of money. A
Hmm.
lot of money. We don't have to talk about that.
Yeah,
Let's just move on.
unfortunately. So, and then this also, I mean, this is how what led to the original the Dyson Sphere in the first place in the podcast I was listening to. They were talking about the great filter theory.
I don't know what that is. We
So
don't have a great filter. I know that.
so it's basically like left to right, it's like a bar. So you have origin of life on the left, and actually the right ends at a type 3 civilization, which again is
Okay.
capable of it
That's
harnessing the energy of a galaxy.
Mhm.
So a little bit down the line, so there's multiple like breaks in it though, and they're commonly achieved evolutionary leaps. So, like going through, and then there's one like great filter, which is an evolutionary leap that almost no species manages to make. So
Mhm.
there's like something here, like something on that line that most species won't get through. And
Okay.
then so it's like all these different species, and then there's this one that's one that most won't make it through, but only it looks like one. It depends what graph you look at. Um some say well, it's already behind us, some say it's still ahead of us. Um some say we're approaching it. So I guess that's still up to what we think. So we don't know if we're about to hit that great filter or if possibly like we've already passed the great filter. So
I was muted.
yeah.
I was just saying, mhm,
Yeah. What
but
what
I
do you
felt
think
it was
about that?
off.
What do you think about the whole great filter thing?
So it's an evolutionary jump that most species won't do. Is that what
They won't like make it. Like they won't be able to
they
get through
can't?
that.
They can't handle it.
It's like hitting a wall, but like
Okay.
one or maybe two very rare oddities where they actually break through it.
Hmm. And we're gonna do that.
We are a species, so in theory, yes.
Hmm. I feel like we peaked.
You feel like
Do you
we've
feel that
peaked?
way? I feel like we peaked as a species.
I
My
don't
friend,
think so.
this is unrelated a little bit. It has more so to do with technology, which could a cybernetic leap? That's not evolution, but maybe it is. Who knows? This is a form of evolution. If we all got cybernetic implants, could that technically be considered man-made evolution?
Yeah, 'cause we still
Did I just
invented
break?
it.
Did I just break the theory?
No,
Fucking
I think we would still
Redskins.
it would still
Anyway,
be we would have made it, so I think it would still count.
it counts.
I
Okay,
think so.
that's so we'll get back to that. We were talking the other day. He was on Reddit, and I think it was like an oddly satisfying. I think it was the oddly satisfying. And one of the videos was a guy, and I'd seen it a couple times before, but not for a while. The guy, he's putting up sheetrock with a hatchet. He just has a hatchet, and it's an older video. You can because it's got like the lines that cut through it.
Hmm.
He's got just a hatchet, and he'll put up sheetrock, and he'll use the blunt end of the hatchet, obviously, and he'll pound in the sheetrock nails, and he'll get it. And then there was in one of them there was an outlet, and with just a hatchet, he carves it out before he nails it down, carves it out, flips it over, knocks it out with the back of the hatchet, puts it up, hangs it. And he's doing it with just a hatchet. Like today, people got fucking stilts on with nail guns and really precise tools. And this man's just literally just got a hatchet
Hmm.
and he's doing it. And I was watching, I was like, we used to be so good at everything. Like as human beings, we used to be able to do so much more
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like physical tasks. And now it was an art. Like being able to hang sheetrock with a hatchet is a lost art that we no longer have because it's not necessary. But it was really cool, and we don't do it anymore. And he still did it quick because most people would be like, "We have now so much time." He hung a piece of sheetrock in like 10 seconds. How much more do you need? You don't. We
Mm-hmm.
suck. We peaked. We're like the high schooler who was the captain of his football team and was with the hottest cheerleader and then did meth after high school and died. That's what we are. We're in the doing meth stage of that scale, and we're about to die.
I mean, you kind of covered my argument. Like, there's still like we are advancing how we do things, like to make them
But it's
faster
not
and
as
more
cool.
efficient and whatnot. Well, obviously,
I
it's not as
want
cool,
someone
but
to
maybe that's.
hang
But back in the day,
sheetrock
maybe
with a
people
hatchet.
back in the day maybe they didn't think that was cool. Like, there's like, oh, what a
Nah, that
weirdo.
man. No, he was cool. You went and talked to that guy at party. Like that man hangs sheetrock with a hatchet. I wonder what else he can do with it. And you go talk to him.
I suppose where he got around that he uses a hatchet to hang sheetrock.
World famous. Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's that sheetrock hanging guy.
Yep.
Where's his hatchet?
Sheetrock Shane. That's what we call him. Hatchet's name is Gilthamir.
You can just summon it from anywhere, like Thor.
Yep. Sorry. I don't know. I feel like we peaked. I'm still there. I feel like we as a species is just we were here at one point when we hung sheetrock with hatchets. We were here, and it was a peak, and we're on the decline.
That was the peak. That guy was literally the
That guy,
peak.
he was humanity's peak.
His name was Peak.
Mm-hmm. It's never been the same.
Crazy. So this is where my research pretty much left off. Is
Okay.
string theory.
String theory.
So I mean, we can go back and recap, but so again, I didn't look much into this, but I'm just gonna read this off the Wikipedia article here, or not
String
article,
theory?
but yeah. So just an explanation as to what string theory is.
Mm-hmm.
So in physics, string theory is a theoretical framework in which the point-like particles of particle physics are replaced by one-dimensional objects called strings. It describes how these strings propagate through space and interact with each other. On distance scales larger than the string scale, a string looks just like an ordinary particle, with its mass, charge, and other properties determined by the vibrational state of the string. In string theory, one of the many vibrational states of the string corresponds to the graviton, a quantum mechanical particle that carries gravitational force. Thus, string theory is a theory of quantum gravity. There's a bunch more here, but
Yeah, it's like the most concept thing. Most concept. Okay, podcast canceled. I can't talk. The most complicated things that you could ever try to talk about
yeah,
without
so
any understanding of it.
that's okay. I don't really care to talk about it anyway.
It's cool though. There's an episode on what was the show called? With Sheldon?
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, that one. When they're talking about string theory, they make it they use layman's terms, and it's kind of understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But
now I'm interested to see if Bill Nye has anything on string theory.
Bill,
I'd look that up.
He's got Bill. I don't know if he does. I've scrolled through most of the episodes they have.
So this is talking about basically the multiverse theory.
Yeah, he has that one. I haven't listened to that one yet.
So is that something you personally believe or do not believe?
Multiverse?
Correct.
think it's reasonable.
If you had to guess a percentage, like what percentage do you think it exists? Like how convinced are you?
51. Not
So you
super
think
convinced. I think there's a smidgen more of a chance that it exists than it doesn't.
Mhm.
But I've done no research. There's probably research.
I mean, yeah. There's research for everything at this point.
I was
But
going to take a shot at religion, but I didn't. You're fine. We're fine.
with your
I'm a
limited
new
amount
man.
of research,
Mm-hmm.
what would make you think that that is true?
The Mandela effect.
Okay, so actually, this is where I was going to go with this anyway. So, do you believe that the Mandela effect is real?
Well, it's
Like,
definitely real in
do you?
terms of like how it originated with Nelson Mandela, right? But there's certain things. This was on the Brothers DN podcast too. This was crazy. Like, I wish we were a little older because the Bernstein Bears.
No, I see.
I
I
know,
grew up with that.
I know the name, but I don't remember them.
I remember it being the Bernstein Bears.
See, no one else does. Everyone, even I remember it as the Bernstein, not the
No,
Bears.
the difference is the Bernstein versus the Bernstein, isn't it?
I'm staying you. I don't remember.
I don't know either.
But
But
either way,
no, I agree with everyone that I remember it being what everyone else thinks it is or was.
yeah, I don't. That's just one I know of. And then like one of the more common ones is Luke, I am your father. He doesn't say that.
No, he says, "No, I am your father."
Yeah, but no one remembers that, and I'm not sure why. I guess it's more quotable.
That one, yeah, that one could have been like a self-inflicted, like some article came out and it was like, "Luke, I am your father," and that's just what everyone quoted from there.
Mm-hmm.
So this. So I just looked up a list real quick. This one says people remember instead of Jif peanut butter, it was Jiffy.
No, you're stupid.
I always remembered it being Jif.
It's always been Jif.
So I don't know if you watched the Looney Tunes when you were younger.
Yeah, I've seen this one. It's like they spell it tune as in the musical version.
Yeah, that's apparently at least the reality we're in now.
Yeah, but I thought it was tune like cartoon. T-O-O.
Yeah, I thought that as well. And that makes more sense because it's a cartoon.
Cartoon. Yeah, I always thought it was. Because they don't, it's not a musical.
Mm-hmm.
There's no tunes. They don't even sing. Do they sing?
No.
I didn't think so. So why? Why would you do that?
So yeah, this is the most common was the Bernstein. Yeah, so it's the Bernstein and then the Bernstein.
I couldn't even tell you which one's right. In
The
my head, it's Bernstein,
Yeah, that's the one that everyone thinks it was.
but it's not.
But now so the actual one is actual in quotes is Berenstain. Bears.
I don't know. I saw one. It probably won't. I don't know if it would be on your list. It was pretty popular on Facebook for a little bit, but it was like the Statue of Liberty was. I'm gonna look this up so I don't sound retarded. I know I live in New York. We live in New York.
Yeah, but not the city.
I'm gonna try to
Thankfully,
look
right
it up.
now.
Right.
Let me ask you this one real quick. Then, while you look that up,
Yeah.
Febreze. How would you spell Febreze?
How would I spell Febreze?
Correct.
Febreze.
You would think, but it's
That's how I
spelled.
would spell it.
It's spelled Febreze. There's not a double E in the middle.
Well, they're stupid.
Yeah.
How else do you spell breeze?
I remember it being. I feel like I always thought it was with two E's in the middle.
Okay, I think this is the Twitter post that I've seen in the. Okay, load the whole thing. So there's a whole Twitter thread that I kind of just want to read it because it's actually a really interesting Twitter thread, but I'll definitely tag you in it at some point. But the Twitter thread is a conspiracy thread. Did the world end in 2012? Which obviously the Mayan calendar predicted, not predicted, but the Mayan calendar ended in 12. So everyone was like, does that mean we're going to
And
die
there's that
because
movie 2012.
Mayans were pretty smart. But so I want to just like read it all, but that'd be kind of. You want me to read it all?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. With my reading voice that I don't have. I've wanted to talk about this subject for a while now. We're going to link this in the description if you want to read it. The other day, I had a random urge to look into it again and read some old stuff, just for fun. And ever since then, I've noticed other people talking about it again. But the strangest part is, I cannot find anything online about it. Like I said, you can find people talking about it casually or joking about it, but I cannot find any of the in-depth material I had read before. This was frustrating because he was trying to refresh his memory. I found a few things here and there, trying to put the puzzle back together, but there used to be so much more out there. I want to. Can we get to the good stuff? I found a video from Max Laffin, that child genius from YouTube, touch on this theory, but I don't think he's the first to talk about it. I think originally it was some girl. So, did the world actually end in 2012? Well, it was the year scientists at CERN, CERN, finally found the Higgs boson. Do you know what that is?
I do not.
The particle Stephen Hawking predicted could destroy the universe, or in his own words, cause the universe to undergo. Oh, gosh, I shouldn't be doing this. I can't read. Undergo a catastrophic vacuum decay. Not good, right? Well, what happened if we destroyed the universe? Would we know? Maybe CERN accidentally created a black hole that sucked us in without us even noticing, and we've just been living in it. Some physicists actually believe this is possible. So, we might live in a black hole. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
There's the old cliche argument that nothing has felt right since 2012. This one rings true with me personally and with this person. I agree with this. Maybe it has something to do with growing up and getting, but ever since then, it seems like the world descends more and more into chaos each day. Time even feels faster. Time feels faster parts just because the longer you live, it's a ratio. I don't know if you've ever thought about that, but it is. And that's why years feel shorter, because 1 year compared to
Mm-hmm.
12
Yeah.
is a lot shorter than 1 year compared to 3.
Mm-hmm.
There's some sort of calamity happening almost daily, mass shootings, um, for like 12 hours now. Did we all die and go to hell? I believe that, but some people do. Maybe we're in a similar situation to the characters in The Good Place. Shouts out to The Good Place. It shows banger. Like I've said before, I think we live in a series of simulations. Perhaps the universe was destroyed by CERN, and our collective, I hope I'm saying that right. We'll go with it. Our collective consciousness was moved into a parallel universe next door. It would be almost identical. In fact, there are people out there who are reporting small differences in this reality, and the one they remember before 2012, this is a phenomenon often referred to as the Mandela effect. Below is one of the most famous, the Bernstein Bears, and there's actually a picture. So I don't know if you can see it. Oh shit! Focus, camera. Focus. Focus. I'll send it to you. That'll be easier.
Okay.
But it's a picture of the Bernstein Bears, and then there's a book. Oh, it's in The Simpsons. Does that really count? Of the Bernstein Bears, which could make sense. It's in The Simpsons, so that's maybe why people remember.
And there's always the thing that, like, The Simpsons predicted the future.
Simpsons have predicted literally everything.
Hmm.
Here's Febreze. Some people remember Febreze the way I spelt it rather than how it's actually spelt. Some people remember Skechers with a T.
Yeah.
Instead of Skechers without the T. Looney Tunes instead of Looney Tunes. Right? English language. JC Penney, without an E at the end, but JCPenney does have an E at the end. Weird. The
I
list
didn't know
goes
that.
on. It's strange. The name comes from Nelson Mandela, who people thought he died in prison. However, he died in 2013, not in the 80s. Fun
Hmm.
fact. But this is where it gets to the Statue of Liberty part. I hope you enjoyed the history lesson. The Mandela effect gets much creepier, though. Some people remember the Statue of Liberty being a totally different location. That location being Ellis Island. It's actually on Liberty Island. Seems logical.
Hmm.
I think, and when I was reading through this originally, I was like, do I remember ever, like, does this makes any sense to me? And I think where this may have come from, and I'm going to read this again in a second, but is because whenever they told stories about going to Ellis Island, where the immigration,
Hmm.
okay, I'm just making, you didn't say anything. I didn't know if
No, I'm
they
just
would go
listening.
there to immigrate, and because that's where the you'd go through and you take your test and you do all the stuff with the officials.
Hmm.
They always talked about seeing the Statue of Liberty. So I think that might be where it comes from, but
Hmm.
I'm going to reread this because this is a refresher for me as well. Oh, gosh, I'm not a speaker. Here's a painting clearly depicting the statue at Ellis Island with no other islands nearby. Was the artist just not paying attention? Did he just like it better that way? Now, if that's not strange enough, if you go on Google Maps Street View, there's a few specific areas of Liberty Island where the Statue of Liberty is just gone. And then there's pictures where there's just, I'm just going to send you this at the end because I'm stupid. The account uploading these strange pictures goes by the username Augusta Bartholdi. That's the designer of Lady Liberty herself.
Hmm.
The account also sports his picture from the 1800s. He's Google approved. He's got a green check mark.
Hmm.
Apparently, right before the United States entry into World War I, the Germans committed the first act of terrorism on U.S. soil. It was considered one of the largest artificial non-nuclear explosions to have occurred. I'm wondering why I didn't hear about this in school. This one kind of blew my mind. This explosion is the reason the Statue of Liberty's torch is closed to the public. It's been closed for over 100 years. There's only one problem, though. People remember going there. And I remember hearing about people going all the way up
Yeah, me too.
into her head and torch.
Hmm.
Like, that's something that I do remember. But apparently, it's been closed for over 100 years. And there's Google reviews um, on the page, and then a bunch of Twitter replies to their old Twitter replies, but of a bunch of people saying that they've climbed into the Statue of Liberty torch.
Hmm.
Then there's these pictures I found taken from the torch, but just look at the user's profile pictures. Creepy. Were they time travelers? So this one's a symbol. It's like it's a cross. It kind of looks like a Pokemon names. Hello, what are they called? Unknown. Thank you. Kind of looks like an unknown. It's a
Hmm.
cross. I'm going to draw it on the screen. It's a cross at the bottom, and then it connects to a half circle, and then above that it's a circle that's not touching the rest of it.
Hmm.
I don't know what that symbol means. And then it's a weird lady. I don't know what the other one is, but they're both pictures from inside the Statue of Liberty torch. There's also this Twitter account, the Statue Ellis Foundation, which makes no mention of Liberty Island at all and sports a creepy banner photo of people walking upstairs that lead to nothing. And last but not least, there's this video. It's a collection of Facebook photos where people have tagged their location at Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island. However, the people are posing in front of and staring at nothing. It's crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
But basically, this boils down to them finding the Higgs boson particle and
Hmm.
destroying the world
Hmm.
in 2000. It actually happened. We just didn't notice. But yeah,
So
it's like
we could have black holed
into
into
another.
timeline.
Something happened.
It's definitely possible.
I mean, yeah. There's some people then. Crazy.
Yeah.
And
This is like all that theory and space stuff that, I mean, I feel like no matter what level of science you just don't know.
yeah.
There's just an uncertainty that I don't think we can, one, know, and I don't think we can even, or one, comprehend, and two, even know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. What's your Twitter?
I think it's
Which
just
one?
Tyler underscore McCullen.
That's your Twitter.
But I mean, yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, we started with the Dyson sphere, and we end up at the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Like, all these things are always somehow intertwined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I feel like there's some other stuff, like deep thoughts. But whenever I have deep thoughts to myself, I talk to myself. Like car rides before I listen to podcasts, I would just like talk to myself about stuff. And if I had saw something on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube or something, I would talk about that and kind of try to work through it myself. And then like later in the day, I'll do it again, like at home alone. But I can never. They're apparently never important enough to stick in my mind. And it's unfortunate. I have good thoughts. I thunk well. I'm a well thunker.
But you don't like how you speak, so
I don't well,
you did fine.
I get like I don't know if it's anxious.
Mm-hmm.
It happens at work too. I guess it is. It's probably it's nerves, but
Mm-hmm.
I get really short of breath quickly. I don't know if I should say that because the Rona. People are going, got the Rona.
No, I do that too.
It's only when I talk or like when I'm doing something like that, like when I was reading that to you, I
Mm-hmm.
felt really short of breath. But now I'm fine.
Yeah, I do that when I talk to customers. I think I just try and fit too many words into one small amount of time too. So I'm like, we did and I'm like,
Mm,
I think it is just an anxious thing.
goddamn anxiety.
You said you have good thoughts. Do you ever have like weird or what most people would think are like crazy people thoughts?
What's
I have crazy people thoughts sometimes. Like for a split second, like every once in a while, I'll just be like, what if I'm the only real person and everyone else is just here to like facilitate my life? Like they're not real.
I thought you were gonna go crazy like I'd fucking kill that person if I had the chance right now. Like I thought you were gonna go to that kind of crazy.
No, not that kind of crazy. Like conspiracy theory type crazy. But I don't actually think that. I just have split seconds where my mind's like, oh, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I've always felt like everyone hates me. That's just like paranoia. It's weird. Like, I can give you an example. It happened the other day at work. I was it was the second day they had me outside guarding the lines because I'm a very vicious man. So
Yeah, no one's getting past you.
Well, and they gave me a walkie, and it was 7 a.m, and no one was coming in my entrance because we hadn't had that entrance open. We had just started opening it again, and we had kind of trained all the Walmart shoppers to go to the grocery entrance because that's the only place that had been open. It's the only way you could get in the store for a couple of days. So no one was coming on my side. It was like over the course before my backup arrived, I had maybe like 15 people go in, and I wasn't walking over to the other lady who had the iPad to keep track because the manager was like, if one person goes in and then they come out fairly soon, like there's no point in telling them. So unless you get a pretty big group of people, there's really not a point in telling them. So I didn't even I might have had it on, but I didn't use it at all. And then later in the day, the lady down there was talking to the manager, and they were looking at me, and me being me, I was like, they're talking about. She's down there snitching that I didn't walkie at all, and he's gonna come down here and talk to me. And they were talking and like looking back and forth. Down there talking about, and I do that all the time. I'm like, yeah, those people down there are talking about me for no reason.
I feel like I do similar stuff to that though too.
Yeah, I'm just conceited. People are always thinking about me. I would look at me.
Another crazy thought though is like, it's again, I don't actually think this is true, but I'm like, what if we are in a simulation and like the point of traveling, like we have the ability to like teleport pretty much wherever we want.
Yeah.
But
it's not unlocked yet.
the reason that we are traveling is like a loading screen.
No, we're not a high enough level.
Probably not.
Yeah, we need
to teleport.
We got to grind.
But I'm like, well, maybe that's why flying takes longer, because you're usually going to a completely different element like area, so it's more changes to be made.
No, that ain't it.
Well, I again, I don't think that's true. It's just my mind, for some reason, goes to that kind of place.
I probably have those thoughts. I'll keep track.
All right.
I'll carry a notebook around it.
Yeah, just crazy thought journal.
What's today? Today's the 11th. On 4/12/2020, I had this crazy thought.
It's not a bad idea. We can just keep checking back every week.
Yeah.
All right. I think we can wrap it up. I pretty much covered everything. I would suggest looking into the Dyson Sphere. I think it's a pretty cool concept, and I think it'd be really cool if we could execute something like that. It could definitely help with any potential power problems we would have. I'm gonna link a video in the description. The one I watched, or the one I thought, there was a couple I thought were good. If you go on YouTube and just look up Dyson Sphere, you'll see how to build a Dyson Sphere by Kurzgesagt, sure. And then What If Humanity Built a Dyson Sphere by Unveiled. I think both those are good videos. So I'll leave both those in the description, and we can, if you'd like to look into those anymore, keep those.
Yeah, learn yourself a thing or two.
Do you have anything that you think they should look into?
Vanguard, Card Fight Vanguard 0.
Oh, I gotta give a recommendation this week, huh? Is it my turn?
Card Fight Vanguard 0? Yeah.
My recommendation for this week is something we've been doing a lot for a long time, and that's Rocket Leaguing.
Ooh, yeah.
I highly suggest.
Do that in a couple minutes.
I suggest people get Rocket League.
Yeah.
I suggest people play Rocket League. Even if you don't think you'll like it, give it a try.
Try it.
I really think, especially because a lot of times I feel like you can get it on sale for like $10, right?
Yeah. I think it's also on the Game Pass, and then whatever PlayStation's version of the Game Pass. The PlayStation Now? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I think it's available on both those too. So if you have those, you should be able to get.
Yeah, definitely play that. Colin and I can both attest to, I think we probably paid what, $20-$30 for it?
I got it for free.
Oh, well, I paid for it.
Game is $20 normally.
Yeah.
But when the game first launched, it was PlayStation Plus for that month. It was a really cool launch that they did. So the day ones, pretty much like the people that played the beta, I would say, got it for free, unless you were really paying unless you pay attention to your PlayStation. But
yeah, I suggest that. I think everyone should play that.
Everyone should play that.
Everyone should play that. So that brings us to the end of episode 8 of the Thought Grenade podcast. Do you have anything you want to add? Anything you want to plug there, Colin?
No.
Okay. If you're listening on an audio platform, Apple, Spotify, I don't know what else people are listening on, Anchor. Again, we just recommend, I guess as well as YouTube, subscribing, following the podcast if you would like updates on when videos come out. That way, again, you don't even have to follow social media; it'll just pop right up. And then, if you enjoy the show, give it a rating. It's my first time asking for a rating, but I know it helps for some reason. I mean, it makes sense that it helps. Just leave us a rating on whatever you listen to. I don't know if you can leave a rating on Spotify. I think it's only Apple.
Leave us a message on Anchor.
Yeah,
Comment on YouTube videos.
Exactly.
Anything.
Interact with us. Yeah, we have all our lines of communication open. Ask us questions, anything, any topic ideas. We'd be happy to take those. We can take voice messages through Anchor. Yeah, and then a rating on Apple would be great. 5 stars if you think we deserve it. And then it doesn't matter what you say either, because it doesn't matter what you say. They don't look at what you say. They just look at the 5 stars. And it's not me saying that. That's them saying that. So if you do that, that'd be great. Next week, we will be rolling out video.
We said it. He committed.
I'm committing to that just to put myself on a deadline there. Actually, so next episode is not next week, but in 2 weeks, because this is our break week.
It is.
So we will be back.
Pay attention.
Yeah, when we come back, we'll be back with some video. Even though we're not together, we'll be providing video, something for you to actually look at instead of just listen to. If you're one of our YouTube listener viewers, so look forward to that. And that wraps up today's show. So we look forward to speaking to you next week. Hopefully to you. Like, we want to hear back from everyone.
Yeah.
So if you have any messages, please contact us. And we look forward to blowing your minds next week.
Adios.
Bye-bye.